also want to remind you that this may just be an ebb because you spent a good part of this year tending to yourself in some of the most beautifully radical and miraculous ways that we're serving you. And it's okay if you can't keep the momentum up, but I don't want you to forget that you had already given yourself permission to access the joy and the intimacy that comes with building good and fruitful relationships. You already did it, so you can do it again. It doesn't have to start tomorrow. You can feel all the things that you need to feel because there's a lot of truth in people being present but not still not feeling seen. And there's a lot of truth in people knowing you and it not being enough. And there's a lot of truth in stacking accomplishments and degrees and awards and well, Olympic medals for you, because who else in this room can say that? Um, but there's a lot of truth in having the things, but needing to feel connected and grounded and rooted and needing to feel the joy that's supposed to come with that. But you did it. You did it in such a way that you inspired us to do it. You did it in such a way that you had us thinking of how we could do more of it. You've embraced yourself and the whole of who you are in such ways that has invited people to draw nearer to you. And over these years, you have let us in very big ways. And we would not be the same without you. And we would not be the same without your constant revelations. And we would not be the same without your vulnerability. We would not be the same without you. We are grateful that you so willingly take your mask off for us, that you so willingly share, that you see that we are not loving on you conditionally. We are grateful that you allow us to be and to bear witness to you on this journey. Thank you for trusting us with you. Other thoughts, other reflections, other shares. We've got some time. Okay. Never ever want to end on a low note, although I wouldn't necessarily consider this a low note, but I recognize the amount of space and energy and courage and willingness to reveal yourselves in this manner. I am I am so honored in this moment. Um, I imagined this going very differently today. Um, Definitely had a whole Jesus thing for us, but I love when energy moves in such a way that I cannot help but to acknowledge it or honor it or give it voice Let it do what it's gonna do, because it ain't got nothing to do with me. And I needed to let that be. We needed to let that be today. There's so much overlapping in our experiences, and I think that that is one of the most important things to call out. And we all know that when we take advantage of the opportunity to release, to lay it down, to say it out loud, to write it down, to give it away, to give it a voice, whatever that it is, if it's it for the moment, if it's it that happened 17 years ago, if it's an it that has been running around in our brains and our hearts and our psyches as long as we can remember, when we allow it to come forth, we can shed just a little bit more and become just a little bit lighter and understand ourselves just a little bit more and remember how connected we are to God and community just a little bit more. Every time we do that, every time we respect the practice of confession as a means to recall, to remember, to fortify our spiritual strength. Every time we do it, we do those things. We get to see again. And it is so necessary. And I am so blessed that you all would allow me to curate a space this potent and this beautiful today. I am also certain that I'm going to go and cry for like an hour um, because there's so much that has been stated. But we are doing some beautiful and powerful work here in this space that all comes back to love of self, honoring the journey, trusting the universe, remembering that we are well sourced, and everything else that comes with it. And we get to do it as often as we so desire. Yeah, let's do that. As we close out, if everyone will just take a hand, place it over your heart, and at your own pace, repeat after me. Every time I confess, I release and I am free. Every time I confess, I release and I am freed. I hope that we move forward into this week with lighter hearts, with the courage to return to any of the weight that pulls us back, that keeps us from seeing, knowing, or leading into the truth. I hope that we stand and move with courage and boldness, knowing that we are never, never too much. That's what Luther said. Never too much. knowing that there's always a God that hears us, ancestors that empower us, a universe that liberates us. We're at times, so I'm not going to have Miss Tasha play our last song. I'm just going to pray us out. But the song simply states that our thoughts are our prayers. Our thoughts are our prayers. And we can take the opportunity to lean into the best and highest of ourselves, remembering that what we think or that we can bring forth our desires with what we think. Let us be not confused. Let us be not confused. Mother, Father, Creator, we thank you as always for being present in this space, for aligning all hearts and minds with your love and your word. We thank you for binding the energies that seek to flatten, disconnect, shrink us, and teaching us to hold strong, to grow deep, to be loud and wild with our wisdom. We ask that you continue to tend to the spaces that hurt, comfort us through the moments when we have forgotten. We do believe, but help us in our disbelief. Where we have been heavied, help us be light. When we cannot find the words to speak, help us to write. When we are worried that we are too much for someone else, give us someone who understands just enough. We are grateful for all of the well and uplifted ancestors that have joined us today. We are certain that it is your strength that has carried and walked us through these moments. We ask that you continue to guide us through this week. This and everything that lies on the hearts and minds of those present. We ask in honor of the Most High. Ashe and amen. Please come off of mute and greet each other and the room.
Hey,
Thank you, Dante.
Thank you, Adande, for leading today.
Yeah.
thank you, Adande. It's
Absolutely.
wonderful. Thank you, Mama Love. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Sweet Tea, for your sharing.